The following Toku Podcastu contains spoilers from both past and present tokusatsu, anime, manga, movies and other related media. If you do not wish to be spoiled, we suggest turning off the podcast now. Otherwise, please enjoy the show.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Tokusatsu Podcastu, the best show about... Fuck it, whatever. I hate Pride Month. That has nothing to do with this. But there you go. Actually, no, it could have something to do with this. I'm pretty sure there's some lesbian symbolism in this show. Fuck's sake. So, anyways, yes, the best show ever about Tokusatsu. Whatever, I don't care. Jay.
You guys remember when Supergirl had a horse that wanted to fuck her? Because I remember. Anyways, that has nothing to do with anything.
Isn't that basically what Bat Cow was too?
No, Damien wanted to fuck Bat Cow. Bat Cow was just a regular cow. But that's not important. So,
are we talking about the actual Bat Cow, or are we just calling Batwoman Bat Cow now?
Oh, snap.
Yeah, got it in there, buddy. Woohoo! I feel really good about that joke.
That was a good one.
Jesus Christ. We're going to get it for that one.
Probably.
Anyways. So, yeah, we watched something called Girl Gun Lady. Something that you may have noticed. I have been reviewing on YouTube since it started because I was just really bored one day and decided, hey, you know what? Apparently that show's a thing now, so okay. And we're going to talk about it. So, Jay, since you're the one who watched it all in one day, let's start. Shall we? Who should we start with? Should we start with Tachi Bannerson?
Let's start with the only character in the show. Yes, Kohaku.
Kohaku?
I think that was her. Koharu. No, I kept doing...
Kohaku? Is she a fucking Bionicle now?
Fucking I wish. This show would be way better.
You're the fucking Toa?
Yeah, she's the Toa of the depression, the element of depression, yeah.
The element of depression. So yeah, Tachi Bannerson. I called her Tachibana because it was just funnier than that.
It was. I have an instinctive flight or fight reaction anytime anybody says Tachibana in a Tokusatsu show. It's ingrained in me now. Like I always expect,
right?
like I always expect somebody to just be like staring like a creeper around the corner every time.
I mean, she pretty much did, but I think that's more the PTSD. Yeah. So talking about our character, our main character, Tachi Bannerson. I hesitate to say she was an idiot, but I think she was just stupid.
I don't think she was stupid. I just think she was kind of depressed and had no emotional involvement in anything at all, and didn't really want to be there. And I don't really care.
I mean, sure.
I don't really care about her. You know, like.
No, I don't either. Honestly, I'll be upfront. She's possibly the worst part about this show.
Well, I wouldn't agree with you there, but you're right.
One of the worst parts, then. One of the worst parts about the show, because she is constantly and consistently, like, either I'm super into this and I want to help everybody, and oh my god, I am in a corner crying and hearing I forgot the fucking name of that song from Vietnam. Fortunate Son. There you go.
Beat me to it.
You just hear that fucking song every time she's there, and that's from like episode 1. Jesus,
I don't remember the rest of the guitar riff. Anyways,
but yeah, she's honestly pretty great.
Yeah, you kind of touch on one of my biggest problems with her as a character is that she's inconsistent. She doesn't really have a fucking motive to be involved with. Then again, nobody really has a fucking motive in this show to do anything.
Sure.
And that kind of extends to a lot of things, but we'll focus on Tachibana for the second. She does not have a real motive to be here other than I don't want to die, which I mean that's fair enough, but like she doesn't really have any like end goal here. Like okay, so as always, we skip over explaining what the fucking show is about before we start talking about it, as always. So we have our depressed loner high school girl who, for no particular reason, ends up at a weirdo antique shop. And the weirdo antique shop seller sells her a series of model kits that is just like a plastic anime girl and a real-ass gun that, for reasons unexplained, sends her into a parallel dimension that puts her into a life-or-death gun battle for reasons.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's the, you die in the game, you die in real life kind of thing. So it's, you either, you fight or you die. And other than that, like, she doesn't really have any real, like, drive to be here. She's a coward. She, like, doesn't want to fight. She can't fight. And her whole thing early on is like, I don't want anybody to die. I don't want to fight. Like, she starts off as like Shinji, basically, where she doesn't, she doesn't want to kill anybody. She doesn't want to be involved with this. She just wants to fight.
Let's stop fighting.
Let's stop fighting in this literal death game. But here's the thing, like, again, the problem with, like, her motive, and by extension everybody else's motive, is that there's nothing that they're fucking fighting for.
Technically not.
The biggest, like, we don't know what the fucking prize for the game is until, like, the 8th episode. And the prize...
Technically, there is no prize, except for the Grokan commander.
Well, technically speaking, yes.
Technically, the prize is you don't fucking die.
Technically speaking, there is no prize even for them, but...
That's true.
We don't, like, none of the characters have any defined motive for wanting to be here, because we don't know what the fucking prize of the tournament is. We don't know what the rules of the tournament are. They're fighting, and every time they win or they get killed, they get points, and they have rankings, but what are the rules? What
I
are
don't
the
even
points
know how the rankings work.
We don't know. In fact, they only acknowledge the rankings, like, twice. Like, and if this was like a comedy, like, sure, the rules are made up and the points don't matter, and that's fine in fucking Whose Line Is It Anyways, but in your serious serious drama about murder and life or death fights, you need to have, like, some kind of, like, end goal. Like, as far as we know, like, they can just fucking leave at any time. We don't find out that they're trapped in the game until, like, way later in the show. At the same time, we find out what the fucking prize is, which is, well, other than, again, you don't die, it's your boss, who is a plastic doll, gets to become a real girl. Okay, fucking cool. How does that benefit me? What the fuck? Like,
exactly. Like, see, the thing is, like, if from the outset the prize was, you just get a victory royale, awesome, fine, Fortnite it, right, fuck it. But at the same time, it's like, we never get told that. We never get mention of that. And not only that, but like you said,
winning doesn't fucking benefit them, because
exactly
all it does is
that's what I was going to say. Like, there's really no goal for any of them.
Exactly.
Because like when you think about it, even if you wanted to give, like, say, let's say Tachibana, let's say Team Alpha, right? Let's say you want to give them the goal of, I don't know, say that there's like a even just a wish, right? Even just a cop out version of a wish. Oh, you get like, or you get prize money or anything like that. At least that's something. But even then, two things. One, the three girls, we don't even know why they don't even really like each other. And two, one of them fucking dies anyways.
And again, that's my thing, as I was trying to get to, is that, like, to compare to Ryuki, which is the closest, unfortunately, comparison, like, the end goal was, whoever wins the rider battle gets the power to make one wish to rewrite reality. Okay, that's a good enough goal. That we have an entirely understandable reason why Shinji would want to try to stop the battle, because winning means killing everybody else. But we also have a clear motive for why everybody else does not want to stop fighting, because they all want a magic wish for whatever reason. Ren is to save his dead girlfriend. Fucking, how did I forget Zolda's name? Zolda.
Oh,
Hitoaka, yeah.
Ah, fuck.
Hitoaka,
there you go.
Hitoaka doesn't want to die of fucking cancer. Like, Oja is just a psychopath. Like, okay, that's fine. We completely understand it, and that completely fits with Shinji's character of he's a coward, but he just wants to help people, and that's why he wants to stop the game and have everybody be friends. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
But here, one, we don't know what the fucking prize is until halfway through the show. So we don't care when Tachibana is trying to get the other combatants to stop fighting and, team up and be friends. And we don't care when, well, again, we don't care when anything really happens. We don't care when they die. There's no real motive for anybody to really be fighting other than, oh, well, we get to stop playing the game. Like, there's no real motive for anybody to really be killing anybody because killing doesn't really change anything. Like, okay, yeah, you earn more points, but, like, the points don't fucking matter as far as we're aware.
And the thing is, like, if you wanted to make a story like this, there's the only real possible outcomes would be A, the Girl commanders are just straight up evil, and the whole nice girl bullshit Alice was putting on was just bullshit, or B, at the end of the day, all the teams are just like, why the fuck are we killing ourselves? What's the point of this? And they turn on the fucking game, and to basically get their freedom. That's the only way that this story would have worked, because everything else is like, oh, they're dead. Oh well.
Exactly.
I mean, shit. the fucking fact that one of Team Alpha's team members dies, and they literally replace her with the same actress.
And again, bringing up how one of the main characters dies, that's another problem I had, is that, like, but I'm gonna finish my initial tangent. Is that, and again, like, it doesn't make Tachibana's change of, okay, I want to take the game for real and I'm going to start killing people now. Her change doesn't really fit her character, and it doesn't really make any sense for why she would go against her morals like that. And that's really my problem, is that, again, she just abandons her morals for really no quantifiable reason. Like, I mean, look, I get it. You're a big pussy, and you're stuck in this life and death situation, and you eventually learn, you learn how to kill somebody. Like, but then she's still like, oh, I hate having to kill people. Oh, I hate having to be here. Why am I doing this? Bah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look, I'm an outlier here, right? I mean, I've killed somebody. It's easy. It's not, it's nothing to talk about. So, I don't really understand why she's complaining about it. But that's besides the point.
The thing is, the thing is, you're right on that sense, because she from one episode to the other, she literally goes from, I will never kill anybody, I want everyone to be friends, to, I'm going to have your head on a fucking stick. And the thing is, there's no real build up to it. It just happens.
And again, there's no build up to it, and it kind of ruins everything that she was trying to do. It's I'm trying to think of the right word to say, but it contradicts
what she wants to do.
It contradicts everything she had done up to that point, and contradicts all of her previously established motives, because here she is just going completely against her own stated goal here, and just like, all right, fuck it, I'm just going to gun them all down anyways. Like, it makes the ending of oh, well, we actually, we want to help you live, and, all this other bullshit about the magic world or whatever the fuck, it's all kind of pointless, because, well, sure, yeah, but you already kind of abandoned your own morals here. Why are you now being like, I didn't want to do any of this, why did this happen, I hated having to be here? Like you're the one who fucking helped doing this. You were killing people the whole time.
Exactly. And that's the thing, it's this weird in between where the writer feels like he wants her to still have morals and still be a coward, but at the same time wants to be this gun-toting badass. It's like, you can't do that, especially in a show where you're trying to be gray about it, but you're not being gray about it. All you're doing is just going from one extreme to the other. There's no point where she is just like, no, I am killing you because I want to survive, but I still don't like killing. It's, oh, I just hate killing and I don't want to kill and I'm going to run away and cry, to, I'm just gonna blow your brains out. It's like, that's how it's going, especially towards the very end, where it's just like she just starts murdering people again anyway.
Exactly, and
so what's the fuck the point?
And the biggest problem with it is that the deaths ultimately don't end up mattering, because again, here's the thing, oh, it's a death game, but we got again, if it were like Ryuki or any kind of other battle royale thing where somebody's dead they die. That's fine. But there's no real clear defined teams, so it doesn't necessarily affect the show one way or the other.
Exactly.
But here we have the teams, and when somebody dies, they just have extra lives. So the initial death doesn't really matter because, oh, well, we just know that they're going to come back because they probably just have an extra life, and there's no real way the show keeps track. We're just told this character.
No, that's a bigger problem, too. They don't keep track of this shit.
I mean, they kind of do, but it's not like...
Well, with the main character, sure, but did you realize the fact that 2 of fucking Delta teams were on their last life? Because I fucking didn't.
I guess they just were. I don't know. We don't fucking know. But that's...
Or Team Bravo, fuck, dude. Both of them were just fucking gunned down and they were just dead.
But I mean, again, that's the problem is that, like, okay, sure, and then when they run out of lives, they're just gone. They don't exist. They're literally unpersoned from reality, which I had a gripe with more because it kind of deflates the impact of somebody dying for reals. And look, I kind of get the idea of, oh, this person is gone. They're not dead. They're just fucking gone. They don't exist anymore. That can be a genuinely terrifying idea, and it works for a drama. That being said, it is way more impactful if they were just dead. Like, they just fucking vanish, and everybody still remembers them. That's my big problem, really, is that not that they're just gone. It's just, oh, nobody remembers them. They just basically get erased from history. Like, it would be way more, like, dramatic and kind of, like, shocking and horrific if they're dead, but no, to everybody else, it just seems like they vanish. Like, wouldn't that be, like, way more, like, oh, that's way more stakes, is that, like, oh, everybody knows that somebody used to be here, but now they're gone, and then it's just, who is this person? What were they doing? Like, you have the shot where, one of the alpha girls, who was, I think it was, like, Natsume or something, the runner girl, like, she ends up losing all her lives and dying. And it's like, the whole show, they have the banner up on the school with her name on it. It's like, oh, you're going to go to the track meet and everything. And when she dies, it's like, oh, the banner's just blank. It's like, who the fuck hung up a blank banner? What are you guys, crazy? It's like, okay, all right, like, that shot was kind of worth it. But at the same time, like, it makes her death kind of less meaningful when nobody fucking remembers it. Again, especially when you introduce her fucking sister to replace her in the very next episode after her death, and her sister doesn't even fucking remember that she existed.
That shit made me laugh so fucking hard because they try and play it up like, oh, you member of Team Alpha, oh my god, and it's just like, oh, it's the same girl with her hair down.
It's just the same girl with her hair down, and she's pretending like she doesn't understand what's going on because she's totally not the same person.
See, the weird thing is,
and
it's
again,
like, with that part especially, I thought there was going to be a twist of, oh no, it actually is just Natsume. They just found a way to fuck with the game. I was like, oh, that'd been a nice twist, but
that
it
would have
wasn't.
been an interesting twist too. It's like, okay, like, yeah, again, because that was she died in the same episode that, they broke the fucking boundaries of the game. They fucking T-posed their way out of the boundaries and,
no clip bitches.
Yeah, they kind of got behind the curtain of the great and powerful Oz, I guess is the best way to put it. But, and, again, that would have been interesting. It's like, that was the showrunner kind of throwing them a bone. It's like, all right, I'll do you a favor. Like, you fucked with my game. Sure, I'll let your friend get one extra life, whatever. But no, they just use the same actor. And, like, you know what? I'd be fine with that, too, because I'm fine with them not, like, having it literally just be her, because at the same time, it kind of would just ruin her last life by having, oh, she's just alive again, whatever. Okay.
True, yeah.
It's kind of a loop.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they would have been, like, the showrunner doing it. I think they would have just found a way to just literally glitch the game. Because up to that point, I thought it was just a game, like just a literal simulation. I was like, oh, they just fucking glitched the game. Like, great, that's
yeah,
fine
sure,
enough.
That would have been interesting, but I think it's kind of a lose-lose scenario where it's the build-up to her death is honestly pretty well done, but having her just get better, whether the show, whether there's a legitimate reason or not, it would kind of deflate it. But at the same time, having her replacement literally be the same actress is kind of lazy. But
to be fair, this show probably literally had the budget of a fucking shoestring, so yeah. I'm not gonna really shit on it that bad.
But
this all comes down to the idea of, like, this show, when you really get down to it, it kind of just does play out more like how do I like? You know what? It feels like we're just playing exhibition matches in Call of Duty, and that's it. Like literally, that's how it feels. Like, oh, everyone's dead. Blah blah blah. Oh my god, we lost. Next game.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like it feels like doing that. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, what are the stakes? Do we? And you know what's worse is the fact that like, well, I was gonna say like the worst part about it is that like, with Team like Alpha. Okay, fine. They're our main team. We get to know them. We get to understand them. We get to, root for them. But at the same time, what about the other teams? You know, we never really get to know about Team Bravo. We don't get to know about Delta or fucking Charlie team, and which is a shame because all of them, they're just they turn from one-dimensional antagonists to you're supposed to care about them now because they're helping Alpha
they're
team.
good
like,
guys now,
really?
so you're supposed to care when they die or like. Okay, sure, whatever. But again, that's not a problem unique to this show.
No, but at the same time, it's like if you give us this many people, or at least 4 different teams, why should we actually care about anything else? It's like, because remember, they still at least treated some of the other team members' deaths as like, oh my god, they died. It's like, so what? You were trying to fucking kill us anyways. Who cares?
Exactly. But no, my issue with, again, going back to the replacement thing, that's really my issue is that even, again, at the end of it, when they die and they die for reals, it's fucking meaningless because they just get a new fucking teammate. Like, okay, sure.
That's another thing, yeah.
Like, again, who fucking does a battle royale, fight to the death thing, and then they just fucking bring in new people every time somebody dies? Like, what the fuck are the stakes here? Like,
again, it's like a video game.
Exactly.
It's like a video game, but only it doesn't play out good. Basically,
and like,
and see that's why I was thinking of the other, like when I was watching, I think episode 9, what would have been more interesting, especially because of how they did it with the Girl Gun Commanders. Why not just make it so, you start off with 3 people, but if you end up with only one, too fucking bad.
Yeah.
You have to survive with just one player. Everyone else dies. Too fucking bad.
Like that
would have been great.
Exactly. It would have made the impact of the deaths way more meaningful, and like I'll throw in the bone and give them the extra lives thing. Like that's fair, that's fine, whatever. But then having them just get new teammates when somebody dies for reals, just kind of like it ruins it. It kind of lessens the impact when somebody dies. Like again, Natsume's death is really honestly pretty well done. And it's kind of shocking, but having her just get replaced afterwards is like, okay, whatever. Like, I know she was going to get replaced by somebody, so I kind of didn't care when she died at the end of it. It's just like, all right, this was meaningless.
Well, and see, again, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have liked the idea better if it was just, once you're dead, that's it. There's no team. There's nobody to replace you on the team. You're just dead.
Yeah.
And, too bad. That, you know what? That would actually put some stakes on the team. Like, though, you better not fuck us over. You better not fuck us over, because if you die, it's only us 2 left, and we don't want to just fucking fight with just 2 people left on the team.
Exactly.
Like, that would have made at least some sense, and would have made, I mean, again, put some stakes on it rather than, nothing.
Exactly. Yes. And so other than her, the only other character who has a character to speak about was the obligatory, absurdly powerful student council president, Matsuko, who fucking...
Can we just please mention the fact that apparently in this show's logic, the better you are at building gunpla, the more powerful you are at warfare?
See, listen, look, I loved that concept.
I know, it's just...
Here's the thing.
I know, it's just funny.
Here's the thing. The gimmick of the show is that all of the gear, like the weapons, all of their equipment, their fucking ammunition, they're all model kits. And they have to fucking put them together. They have to build them, sand the pieces down.
On the battlefield.
Sometimes on the battlefield, yes. And I love that gimmick for the show. They don't do anything with it, though. Like, again, we get some bits where, like, they get a new weapon. We have to watch them build it while they're getting shot at. And, like, they introduce, like, the better built your stuff is, the more powerful it is, the better your team will be.
I like it, too. But
they introduce that, and it's like, okay, so what? And my problem is that, like, again, all of the props they're using are clearly the actual kits that they have for sale. But the problem is that they're all very clearly put together by, like, professional model kit builders. So they're perfect, essentially. There's no flaws. You can't see any, like, little sanding knob bits. Everything's all painted over. Everything's all decaled amazingly, perfectly. And that's my problem, is that you introduce the concept of, oh, the better made the gear is, the more powerful it is. But then, like, everybody's gear is fucking immaculate. Like, you should have, like, when that's introduced as a concept, you should have, like, the alpha team's guns. They should be, like, barely hanging together. You should see all, like, the sanding nub parts. You should, like, yeah, like her trigger.
No, dude. Fucking Natsume doesn't even have nubs. She just has them still sticking.
Yeah, she's just got, like,
she punched him out with her fingers.
Yeah, like, she's got the liner runner parts still attached to the bits. Like decal should be peeling off, and, like, there's clearly parts where she cut too deep, and then, like, there's a big gash in the plate. Like, that should be.
How do you still have your runners attached to your gun?
It's like, I just didn't care. You know, they look neat.
See what I thought would be cool, and again, I know they wouldn't have done this because, you know, they got to show it off. What I thought would be cool is, one, what you're mentioning, you know, have some of them that look just really shitty, you know, or like the idea where, like, oh, if you build the bullet wrong, it just blows up in your gun. That would have been awesome. Or two, why not have some of them, like, you know, like real model kit people do, customize them to make it more powerful.
Exactly.
You know?
What
like,
I was about to say.
you just did, I don't know, put like the scope of the blast scroll gun on your little gun, and now it gave you like 10 times the range or whatever.
That was exactly my other problem with the gimmick, is that there's no degree of customization. Like, the most we get is that, like, oh, Tachibana has a different decal than Natsume, or the glasses girl, whose name I don't remember because I can't remember if they ever even said it.
They did, but it doesn't matter.
Well, she doesn't matter at all anyways. Like,
Yeah.
like, that's it. That's all we get for customization, is that they get, like, an extra sticker each. Like, they do a little bit. Like, and I understand, because that's, you know, oh, that's the toy line parts. Like, you've got, Natsume has, like, she's got, like, the bladed muzzle, so she can, like, stab people and shoot them up close. And, like, that's a really cool idea. And then you have one of the Delta girls who has, like a Luger barrel on her, so she can shoot really far away. Like, oh, that's a cool gimmick too. I like that. That's it. That's all you get for, like, customization.
Right.
But that's my problem, is, like, that's all we get for customization. Like, nobody paints theirs different colors. Nobody adds on, like, special stickers. Nobody, like, kit bashes stuff together. Like, oh, I bought this.
Could you fucking imagine?
Like, somebody.
Oh my god! Why does your blast girl gonna have Seed Destiny's fucking wings on it?
Exactly. Like, nobody fucking kit bashes, like, the F91's, like, weird funnel wings on.
Yo, I'd fucking do that, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, put the fucking laser guns on there from, like, the Double X or whatever. It's like, oh man, I've got, like, 4 barrels on this thing now.
Shit! I can't remember what the fuck is what's the suit name from Stardust Memory that has the fucking nuke cannon.
That's the GP02. Yeah. Give the fucking
that'd be fucking big.
Take the GP02's fucking missile launcher racks, or, like, I was about to say the heavy arms from Wing with its 8 billion rocket launchers. Like, nobody does anything like that, and there's no variation or customization or anything like that, and it's so. It ruins the gimmick of the show, of the gear being model kits, is that nobody does any kind of, like, different things with it, and that's so disappointing.
And the thing is, like, just by the very nature of this show, like, okay, you know what? I'll give it to Alpha. They had that whole thing where, you know, Tachibana taught them how to actually build and not be fucking monkeys and punch the fucking shit out of their runners.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. But Charlie are made of a bunch of fucking dumb shits. Why can't they just be like, my gun was built upside down. I put the muzzle on the bottom or some
like,
shit.
Charlie's
like,
a bunch of
do
friggin'
something like that.
who are a bit too busy, like, coming up with dumb poses than actually fighting. Like,
I love Charlie's.
Charlie was hilarious. Like, they were fun. They were useless, but they were fun.
Or shit. You know what? To show off Delta's, even, like, because Delta's supposed to be like that cold brooding one.
Yeah.
No decals at all. Pure one solid color.
Exactly.
Be like cold as fuck with it.
Like, again, and that's the problem, is that, like, they kind of have that with, like, their gun, but they're all the same gun. Like, they kind of have, like, the color scheme. It should just be, like, flat matte black or something like that. Like, no decals, no special customization. They've all got the special line barrel or whatever. Or they've all got like extra little bits around there. Nothing. There's nothing at all. There's no customization. Like, and again, I get why they did it. It's because they're trying to sell the kits, and like, if they made them too indistinguishable, you wouldn't be able to tell. Oh, that's that kit, you know. But oh, mine looks like that from the show now. It's like whatever. Like, it ruins the concept by doing nothing with it. It'd be like a fucking Build Fighters, right? Again, because that's the other best comparison is Build Fighters. It'd be like if in fucking Build Fighters, instead of having all of the cool like inventive kit bashes and recolors and all of like the cool custom stuff, it was just assholes using stock versions of the kits with no customization. Like, maybe one guy painted his differently. Maybe one guy used a different weapon from another kit. It'd be like that. It would be boring, which is what it is boring. You ruin the gimmick of a show where the model kits are real things by not doing anything interesting with the model kits.
See, what I thought would have been cool, though, another cool idea, you know how the Change Girl gun, the one that has like those different fucking ammunition types? Yeah. I would have thought, you know what would be cool? If they showed, she, instead of a pineapple, she painted, I don't know, caltrops on it. Or instead of a flare, she painted, I don't know, a mini missile.
Or like she paints like a little like, I've had this little flame sticker and I put it on there. Oh, I have a flamethrower now, or something like that. Yeah. I mean, granted, a flame.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if you want Japanese to be met with flamethrowers.
Well, I mean, I was about to say, like, then again, yeah, that's a little more fucked up than this show needed to get. So I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, look, it could be far worse, but that's not the point.
I mean, we did just say they should have a nuke.
They did. We did. But no, that's again, that's the thing is that like they don't take advantage of the gimmick, and it's kind of like nobody drops their fucking gun and their gun comes apart and they have to fix their gun. Nobody like, oh, I broke a piece, now I can't reload my gun because my ammo is broken, so I gotta like glue it together or something like that. Like, they don't do anything interesting.
And see, you're still you're talking about just like the customization part. Like, for me, my thing was like the second part you were saying, like, you know, why don't we see them have more trouble building on the battlefield? Why don't we see them being like, oh shit, I lost my fucking sand filer, and they have to like, legitimately go around and pass someone else's or something.
Oh shit, my fucking X-Acto knife blade broke. Oh shit, I don't have any more blades left. Now I gotta fucking like use a rock or whatever. Like, again, like
or just scavenge from like other dead players.
Exactly. Like, oh cool, this lady died, and I know she had the god hand cutters, you know, those are the cool shit, you know. I mean, listen, like I would kill somebody over a god hand pair of runner clippers. Those things are amazing, but like they don't do anything interesting. Like, my issue is, again, like, just in general, they don't do anything with the concept. Like, they don't do anything with the nature that they have to build their stuff. I mean, we get a little bit of it, but it's not enough. They don't do anything with the gimmick of customization. They don't do anything with it, like the action. Like, they mention that, oh, the better built it is, the more powerful it is. They don't show that. There's no real, like, it's just wasted overall.
Yeah, it is. And the sad thing is like, that was pretty much the biggest reason why I wanted to watch the show to begin with. Because, like, oh, it's a tokusatsu show literally built around building shit. Like, building model kits. I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. But then, like, halfway through, they just kind of forget about it. Like, literally, the last thing they introduced that they actually had to, like, think of building was the Change Girl gun. And even then, it was just like, well, they had it, and then they just literally immediately forgot how powerful that fucking thing
exactly
was.
Like, you have a literal fucking grenade launcher / flare / like sonic cannon, basically, and and you give it to the team noob who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Like, okay, whatever. And again, like, another thing is that, like, and this is more an issue, the fact that they're hampered by the kits they have available, is that there's not a whole lot of variety with the guns. Like, you get the generic shooter pistol pea shooter piece of shit. Then they get like it's like a giant like railgun, basically shotgun assault rifle thing, the blast gun, and that's really cool looking. And then that's it. You get that, and then you get the change gun right at the end of the show, and they don't really get to do anything interesting with it.
And see, the thing is, like, they introduced that you can put these guns together, so why not do something more like that? Put fucking the change girl gun on top of, like, the blast girl gun. Shit, you're fucking invincible.
Exactly.
And yeah, and for those listening, yeah, the kits in real life can also do that. So it's not like they were limited by what they could do with the kits. No, you can put them together very easily. It's encouraged, actually. But I guess they had to save that for the power-up modes or something.
The power-up modes, which all sucked.
I mean, to be fair, what power-up modes would just stick them together.
I mean, I don't know. I expected
yeah.
I expect they would get like the armoring of the commander. Like, oh, when I fuse my gun with my commander, I get some of their armoring bits, and like, okay, that would have been interesting. And like, okay, now I can kind of go crazy when I've got like a bigger.
To
gun.
be fair, that's what I expected too.
Like, no, I guess taking part of somebody else's costume off and putting it on somebody else costs too much money.
No. See, the power up is just put the model kit on top of your gun.
Yeah. I mean, look,
so adorable.
It is kind of adorable. It's less adorable when they start having it talk and they use special effects that are on the caliber of a talking cat to make it look like it's talking.
At least they didn't like annoying orange it where you just see the girl's lips on it.
Oh, that would be terrifying. That would be.
I would piss myself.
I think I would stop watching the show right then and there.
But like, so like getting into the actual like story part of this, because really, who else do we have to talk about? Like, nobody.
There's Matsuko, but there's not much you can say about her until you start like talking about the spoilers of the plot. So, quote unquote.
That's what we're here.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
Alice
exists. They start giving her a character, so we care when she's supposed to become human. At the end of the show, when we've already stopped caring.
The other two players with Tachibana don't really have much to say about him, especially since one dies anyway.
One dies like,
and the other one's just really fucking cold.
One of them dies before Tachibana even joined. No, not Tachibana. I thought we were talking about the other one. Bravo. No, yeah, one. The other one who's like the nerdy one, allegedly, because she doesn't understand simple English words, despite the fact that she hangs around in a science lab and is constantly drinking out of like chemical beakers, which is, I don't know why that was a thing they kept doing. I don't understand what the gimmick was behind that.
It's wacky.
I mean, it was kind of cute. It was like, oh, haha, I just noticed that, and then it's like, oh, that's just a thing they're gonna do. Okay. I mean, like, it's not bad or anything. It's not egregious. It's not like, oh, this ruined the show. It's just like, all right, that was a cute little one-off. It's like, oh, they're just gonna do that every time.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the other two don't really have much to them because again, one of them died, but she didn't have much of a character to her. Her twin sister didn't either, and the science chick, she kind of just comes off really, again, just cold and uncaring, and she doesn't give a shit. Even towards the end, she just felt like she doesn't give a shit. So like, why should I care if she stays alive anyways?
Like though the one who dies, Natsume, like she has some of a character, and I'm like, okay, I kind of like you, and I like, but again, like, I don't care if you're going to die or not because I know that they're just going to replace you anyways, and your death is just going to be meaningless. And I kind of liked her thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to work my ass off so I don't die, so I can, make it to my big running tournament, and then I can, then I don't care if I die or not. I'm like, okay, that's reasonable enough. Now you have a motive. You have a motive at least, which is more than to be said than 90% of the cast.
Honestly, when she said that, I was just like, man, you literally just said I'm 2 days away from retirement.
I mean, no, yeah, literally. Like I knew when she started, like when they showcased the big banner on the school that had her name on. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna die. You're gonna die like 2/3 of the way in, aren't you?
Death flag. Death flag.
It's a literal death flag. Yes, it's got her name on it.
Basically. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like the other teams, there's not much to say. Bravo. Do you remember any of the fucking names? Because I don't.
I don't.
Delta. There's nothing there. Charlie. I like you, but there's nothing there.
No, like they had a fun gimmick. Is that like they're like showboats and they're doing like weird dances and
they take too long to shoot anyone.
Yeah, they're like I like it. There's the bit when they get Natsume's sister replaced, and like Charlie's doing they're fucking running around them in the big circle over and over and over again, and she's like, what the fuck, like, and Tachibana is just like, just let them do their thing, we'll take advantage of it once they stop, just let them do their thing, they'll tire themselves out eventually. Like, okay, that was cute, like, I get it, it's like, yeah, I'm used to this, just trust me on this, like, that was kind of fun. But then like they're doing like all these weird poses and everything, it's like, oh, okay, like, you guys suck, I get it, like, it's whatever.
You're just that bad.
You're the joke team, okay.
Honestly, I would have liked if they I honestly would have liked if they had mentioned, like, somewhere on the team that Charlie has had the most people replaced.
I mean, like,
because they just keep fucking dying.
I mean, like, that would be fun if it's like, oh, every single episode there's a new member of Charlie. Like, okay, that's fine.
That
like,
would be so much fucking fun. That would be so fucking funny.
That would be funny. Like, that there's an interesting gimmick is like, oh, every single episode there's a new one because they're so incompetent they keep dying. Like, okay, that'd be funny. That's a nice gimmick there. But other than that, it's just like, there's nothing else to talk about the rest of the girls. Like, Delta, like, they're the obligatory psycho killers who are just here to murder, but again, there's no real end goal, so there's no real reason for them to be psycho killers. Bravo is
what's even weirder about fucking Delta is that, like, the main bitch face chick,
yeah,
they try and give her like some kind of like you have to feel sorry for her now. I'm just like, wait, what? Why?
It's like, oh,
Why
we're
all
just gonna die. We're all just gonna die anyways. Okay, well, now that I am going to die, I am a good guy. Please care about me when I die. Like, no.
You shot someone in the fucking head like 3 episodes ago.
Like, you literally got everybody into a big room and then fucking gunned them all down. Like, you guys are sickos. No, I'm not going to feel bad when you die.
It's like, Jesus Christ, the cartel's telling you to calm down.
No, right? Jesus.
But that's the thing, like, everybody else besides Team Alpha, and even one out of Team Alpha, they're all just assholes. They're all assholes.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I don't care.
Like
and that kind of goes to the Girl Gun Commanders as well. Charlie is just a psycho bitch. Delta is just, I'll step on your balls. Bravo is fucking incompetent.
Oh my god,
and
Bravo was so...
She's an idiot.
Bravo was so incompetent, Matsuko was literally like, just shut the fuck up and let me do your job for you. And then
I will do your job for free.
And then she got so pissed that she tried to betray her own team member for literally no reason.
Even though she was winning?
Even though she was, like, her methods were literally winning them the game, she just decided to betray her for no reason.
Which just ended up even worse.
Which, first of all, it just ends up fucking her over, because that means that she's going to get closer to getting thrown in the scrap heap at the end of this, and it fucks everybody else over on the team, because now they didn't win, and now that's just, that's one step closer to the grave for the rest of them. It's like, okay, sure, yeah, you petty bitch, fine.
Okay, I guess now we can go into a bit more about the actual story, which I should mention right now, and this is something that you just mentioned right now because of Bianca, which is, by the way, Team Bravo's commander. Which, don't worry, they don't say it very often. So
I kept forgetting that they actually had names other than like Bravo or whatever. Like,
yeah, Charlotte, Daisy, Bianca, and Alice. That's all. And I only remember that because I only remember that because I looked at their model kits up like literally just a couple hours ago. So there you go. But see, okay, so getting into the actual plot, because we're 45 minutes in, we haven't even touched the plot.
I mean, we kind of did, but that's usual for this show now, isn't it?
Sometimes. So getting into the actual plot, the worst part about this show to me, and about its plot, is that, and we kind of touched on it earlier, is the fact that we're supposed to feel something for the Girl Gun Commanders. And we're supposed to feel like the team, when we learn about the prize, which is make them whole again, or make them humans,
make them real boys, or girls, rather.
Make them real boys. Make them real boys with real toys.
Make them real girls, male.
Oh.
Somebody's gonna get that joke.
Jesus. But yeah, so the biggest problem what I was saying is that like when they introduced that whole thing of like, oh, they're supposed to, get them back to humans. One question that I had was, did the people before Tachibana came in, did they know that was the prize themselves, or did they realize that, or did they learn that when Tachibana learned that? Because if that's the case, what exactly was in it for them? Like, they had to have been told something, right? Like, oh, if I become human, I'll give you this and this and this or something, right? There had to be something there. If not, why the fuck do they fucking care? Because
more importantly,
and again,
like,
we touched on this earlier with it, but like it just comes off as, well, none of these characters seem like the type of characters who would care. Delta doesn't fucking care. Charlie doesn't fucking care, and Bravo, they're fucking eating crayons in the corner. So what the fuck do they care if their commander becomes human? What does it matter?
Exactly. Like, again, the issue is that, for example, for one, when the fuck does Tachibana learn that that's what the Enterprise is? Because we don't.
Oh, that's right. It just happens.
She just suddenly knows that, oh, winning will allow Alice to become a real girl. Okay, fucking how? When did you learn that? Why is this the goal? Like, who fucking asked for this? Again, like, as far as we're aware, it's the same situation for Tachibana that is for everybody else, is that for some inexplicable reason, they all ended up at the same model shop, run by the same fucking creepy guy, who managed to somehow sell all of them on the Girl Gun Lady kits, all of who built it, and all of whom ended up getting drafted into the battle. And as far as...
Which opens up a whole other fucking problem with
look,
that shit, where it's like...
Look, it was so fucking obvious that he was the bad guy behind everything that I fucking figured it out in episode 1. And I only figured it out because...
Sure, even I knew that.
I only figured it out because that motherfucker looked like Sid from Gaim. The second he shows him, like, yeah, he's the villain, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh, right?
Like, dude, I had to look it up. I was like, that's gotta be him. That looks exactly like him. No.
But see, that's the thing, like, that brings up a whole other problem where it's just like, and again, these aren't problems that we're just thinking too deeply into. This is shit the show doesn't explain. Like, did all of them, every single fucking one of these players, get a model kit from that exact shop? From that, every single one? Like, the odds of that are astronomical, for one.
See, it's not like...
And two, are they the only ones given these model kits? Because the thing is, these model kits, you can see on them, they're licensed products being sold and shipped. What's to stop some fucking 13-year-old boy getting them from some fucking hobby shop?
Look, that's...
Like, what is there?
That's the thing, is that, like, again... They're clearly some branded thing. They're not like some weird garage kit this guy's putting together and selling them on. Like, okay, that'd be one thing. Like, I get it. Again, they're just using the literal kits they're trying to sell you on it. It makes sense. Excuse me. It was gross.
But it opens up a whole problem of just like,
but
who's making these kits? Is it the guy himself? Like, I'm sorry, but
based on what he says in the finale,
like this,
no, it is just some pre-established series that, as far as we know, doesn't actually exist in the universe of the show. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We don't know, because nobody seems to know what the fuck Girl Gun Lady is other than him. And here's the...
Which basically just makes me think he's some fucking, like, plomo hipster.
He might be, like, that's the thing, is, like, when we find out what his motive is, it was just like, I really love the series, so I wanted them to be real. So I created an alternate reality death game, and I'm forcing random teenage girls to fight to the death so I can sacrifice them to make the Gun Girl ladies real. What the fuck?
Especially the fact that if these were real, if this was a real thing and they were real fucking model kits from a real series, nobody, especially two specific characters, have never heard of this?
Exactly.
Fucking... The teacher, the chick teacher, nor the fucking school nurse, neither of them, and one of them we keep constantly seeing building model kits. You're telling me neither of them have ever heard of this ever?
Like, fucking Tachibana shows off her gun to the nurse, who's who we always see building, very conspicuously building 30-minute mission kits. buy now from Bandai.com. That was another thing that kind of annoyed me, is that they only used like 30-minute missions, like the really cheapo Bandai kits, and they didn't have anything else. And again, I kind of understand why, is because of the licensing thing, but like, you could fucking, like, you couldn't throw in a fucking high-grade Grandpa Gundam in there or something like that. No.
I was about to say, like, you can't throw Gramps a bone. Who fucking cares?
Like, you can't.
Even a Zaku, dude.
You can't toss Sunrise a couple hundred yen just to be like, I'm gonna put like a Zaku 2 in this show, and it's just gonna be in the background there, or whatever. Like, you motherfuckers make the kits. You telling me you can't just pull one off the assembly line and just like stick it on the show? Like, no, whatever. That's a nitpick. I don't really care. It's like, it makes the show.
I know, but still,
it makes the show feel a little less like real when the only kits, like, you have this guy who's supposed to be obsessed with model kits, but all he's building is like super cheapo kits, like,
right?
Like, he doesn't,
like,
like, he doesn't
where
have
the
a
fuck
fucking,
is the like frame girls? Where are the frame girl arms?
Well, I understand why, because that's Kotobukiya. That's not Bandai, but
I know.
I understand why they're not there, but like, he doesn't have any Gunpla. He doesn't have any of like the. What were the figurizes? He doesn't have any of those. Like,
yeah, figurizes, and none of the Digimons. Fuck's sake, not even any Bandai made like vehicles. Like, what are they?
No, like, he has 30-minute missions. That's it. Like, okay, and I
mean, granted, 30-minute missions are nice.
I mean, they're
fuck.
nice. They're nice looking kits, but there's no variety here. That's the problem. Like, but again, that's what you say, is that you've got the nurse who explicitly sees the guns and everything and does not know what the fuck they are, who's supposed to be like a god tier model kit maker. And then you have the other teacher, Hoshimiya or something like that, I don't remember, who's also conveniently a secret god tier model kit builder, which was a dumb as hell twist. But
one that you could see from a mile away.
Well, here's the thing, like, I didn't see it coming because it didn't fucking make any sense, because she at no point acknowledged anything model kit related up until like episode 9, when they're shanghaiing her to go over to the nurse's house to look for the super secret final power up. Which they just had lying around in a fucking box the entire time, and they just didn't know about.
That's fine.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah,
they had the final power up the whole time. They just, like, the person who built the kit was a dipshit and didn't put it together. Okay, whatever. But like, again, she sees them building the kits. She sees them doing this stuff several times. Like, she never comments on it. She doesn't know what the hell this is. Like, again, like, apparently it's just a real thing. Like, it seems to be like it's like an alternate reality. Like, he must have just created like an entire separate reality. That seems to be the case, is that like it's like some Inception tier bullshit where it's reality inside reality inside reality, because somehow this is like a massive series that he's a big fan of, and that's the whole motive behind it, but nobody else has heard of it. Anyways,
which still makes me think, like, the only way that would have made sense, because again, the only way it made sense is if the Girl Gun Ladies were a series in the bullshit simulation world he was in, or what I thought they were going to go for, that he was an alien, but they didn't go for that.
I'm surprised they didn't go for the alien, because he has them go pull the Chikyujin. I'm fucking that up. I'm totally butchering the pronunciation. Chikyujin.
He calls
card.
them Earthlings.
Yes, he straight up pulls the haha you filthy Earthlings card. I'm like, okay, so he's an alien and he's doing this to fuck with them. No, he's just some guy. I guess, maybe, because when he gets killed, he's like, they do the thing where they distort his scream and it sounds like, oh, he's actually secretly a monster. We don't know. He's just doing this because he fucking wants
Which
to.
isn't explained.
No.
None of this is explained. See, that's the biggest problem with the idea of the show, is that you're kind of just plopped into this world, and you think, like any other good show, there would be explanations as we go along, maybe subtle ones, maybe some hints. Nothing's explained, even at the very last episode, where it's just like, okay, so what was that? What are we doing? Where are we? How did he make this? Is he just that powerful? Is he an alien? Is he a fucking mutie? What the fuck is he?
And I guess, and we'll be entirely fair, I watched the finale raw. I didn't watch it with subs. AJ watched it with Spanish subtitles. and we had Chad fill in the rest of the gaps. And we all were kind of on the same level of like, we really don't understand what the fuck is going on, but we understand enough to be able to talk about it. Like, his motive
But see, that's the thing. Like, from the subs that I used, they weren't incoherent. They were perfectly fine subs. And even to me, I thought I was just reading them wrong because I was just like, they're not explaining anything. So when then Chad explained it, I was just like, oh, okay, so they really did not explain what the fuck was going on.
And like,
nothing
again, like I
was explained.
I kind of had that reaction. Like, I understand enough of what they're saying to get the gist of it, but I'm missing enough for like, maybe there's like a specific word that they're using that I just don't understand. But no, it was just like, I fucking love these model kits. I love this series and its lore. I want them to be real for reals. Like, okay.
He just wanted to make his waifu real.
I mean, listen, I'm with you there, buddy, but there are better ways to do that.
And for those listening at home keeping track, Jay could get some of it. Chad understood it, and then I understood it in Spanish, and all three of us still couldn't understand what the fuck was going on.
And Chad didn't even fucking watch
That is
the show.
insane.
Chad literally just fucking threw us a bone and watched the finale raw to explain to us what was going on. And again, I was on the same page as him the entire time because they weren't fucking explaining anything enough to make it coherent.
And again, I thought I was reading the Spanish wrong. I legitimately thought, okay, there has to be something I'm missing here. And then it's like, okay, no, I wasn't. They just don't give a shit. It was just, oh, I waifu make real plastics. It's like, dude, just hot glue them. No one's gonna judge you. I mean, I will, but no one really is gonna judge you.
I mean, there are plenty of people who get off to that. You could make a killing doing that, man. Like, come on.
Like, dude, there was no reason to kill all these high school chicks to make your waifu
There was
real,
no reason to kill them all and then have their corpses stuffed in your back room, which, by the way, the fact that they didn't do anything with that really kind of ticked me off. It's like, they have...
Yeah, right?
Like, he has a literal trophy room of all of the dead girls in his fucking shop, and they don't do anything with it. They don't do a...
And it's not just holograms. They're stuffed.
Yeah, like, it's not a, oh, they're actually alive and I'm keeping them as trophies because they lost. Or it's like, not like, oh, I'm just a sicko and I want to see their corpses and brag about it. Like, there's no motive to it. He just fucking has them on display. It's like, all right, that's creepy. What was the point of that? And
Nothing.
it feels like I'm trying to think because like it feels like I'm missing something that I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember now. And it's like, okay, that's kind of my issue, is that like that's just the show, is that like it just kind of like forgets what the hell it was doing for a few episodes and then just changes course.
But again, like to go back to the whole thing of like, and here was my biggest problem. My biggest problem was the whole concept of the girl gun fight. So, 1, why do we need 3 souls? 2, why do we need these 3 souls to win? If you really love this show this much, why not just get 12 souls and just put them all together?
Why,
to make every single one of your waifus good.
Why not
and
just
4,
kidnap 3 random girls and do it that way?
Exactly. 3, why not? How many girl gun commanders are there? Because apparently there was 5, and apparently there might have been a lot more, because a lot of anyone who loses gets destroyed. So we don't even know how many of these motherfuckers there are.
We don't know how many cycles have there have been, because like clearly there are at least 3 cycles considering the ending. But again, that's the problem, is that like we find out that Matsuko, the absurdly powerful school student body president, which is everywhere, she ends up joining the game early on, and she's like a super duper secret badass. Like she's literally just going like full Rambo on people, like not even looking where she's aiming and getting headshots. Basically, she's going full like killing spree on everything. And they kind of have a weird thing where it's just like, she hates model kits. And like, okay, why do you hate model kits? Like, why are you building model kits? Those are gay. Stop doing that. Leave me alone, But it's like, oh, she's actually a secret badass at them. And it's like, because of, oh, there must have been something that went on. It's like, and they have that throughout the show. It's like, she clearly knows more than what's going on. Like, I thought it was going to be that she was from a previous tournament, and that it's like they're gonna do some kind of, I don't know, I didn't necessarily think they were gonna do a time loop thing. I kind of expected a time loop because it seemed like it was going that direction. I was kind of hoping they didn't do a time loop, but it kind of seemed like there was going to be some kind of loop. Like this, there have been more games than this, and she had won a previous game and got something out of it. Because again, we didn't fucking know what the goal of the game was, but until like right when she gets the reveal. But like right at the moment we have this reveal is when we find out what the motive of the game is. And I figured up until then it was like, oh, I won the previous game, and that's why I want to join it again to shut it down this time. No, well, technically that was true, because we find out that she was one of the gun commanders in a previous game, and she won and got to be human, but then found out that not only is the game still going, but that winning is pointless because the winning team will be sacrificed to make her a real girl, and that being a real girl will be pointless because all of her friends are gone. She'll have a fake memory of a life that she doesn't know and she doesn't care about, and it's gonna fuck with her because it doesn't fit with her personality and what she was beforehand. And it's like, it's a monkey's paw kind of thing. Like, nobody fucking wins. Like, okay, they get to be real.
That's what I was trying to get to earlier, where it was just like, we don't know how many of these have happened. We don't know how many girl commanders are, and the worst part is that if we're constantly doing this, what's to stop? And I'm pretty sure, and I'm kind of shocked they didn't do this more than once. What's to stop the shop owner from taking a girl gun commander who has won the game and doesn't have any memory of the game and making her do it again?
And as far as we're
what's the point of it? What's to stop him to doing that?
Because it seems like Matsuko, because she won and got to be a real girl, she remembered the previous game, which I'm going to assume was part of the deal. But at the same time, like, it doesn't make any sense because, like, now that she sees other people kind of going through, it's like obviously they're going to get in and try to shut this down because, oh, now that I know that you're a fucking liar and I don't want to be involved, like, how do we know that hasn't happened literally every single fucking game before this point? How do we know that this isn't like the 13th time this is happening? Oh, but that's the problem, is that, like, we get this reveal that, oh, there's like a time loop thing going on, and oh, I was in a previous game and I won, but also the entire thing is rigged, and that even if you win, you just die anyways. Because it's like, oh, but I thought if we lost, we would just have to do another tournament. Like, when the fuck did you find that out? First of all, like, you just know that suddenly. And then that's the problem, is that, like, the first episode is so fucking fast-paced with just, like, getting you into the game. And then there's no fucking exposition to anything up until, like, the last 3 episodes. And you get all of it dumped on them. But then the characters just knew all of it the entire time. Like, okay, when it would have been nice to... I thought, like, I fucking missed something because I know the YouTube channel had, like, little side videos, but no, it's just cast interviews. I thought it was going to be like, oh, well, there's these little, like, voice drama things, and that's where we revealed what the real rules are, you know? It reminds me of, like, with Zio, where Zio had the half episodes where that's where they explained all the rules of the time travel and the universe and everything, but even those were, like, they were done comedic, and they were kind of fucking around, and they weren't really meant to be taken 100% seriously, but they're at least, like, that's the same problem, as, like, you're explaining information that is necessary to understand the plot in something else, but at least they explained it. This show doesn't explain it until right when it's necessary to understand the big plot twist.
Here was the point where I thought they were actually going to do the whole, oh, Girl Gun Commander's bad plot line, because there is no fucking way, and you cannot honestly tell me there was no fucking way that none of these 4 commanders knew what they were doing. There's no way, especially because we know that at least 2 of them can survive each game. We know that because we've got mentioned that last place gets destroyed, first place becomes a real boy, the other 2 just go for another cycle,
I guess.
So
yes,
none of them at least know that this was going to happen. None of them at least know this was going to take place in. And it makes it even worse because at the end of the fucking series, they kind of throw out that whole destroyed thing and say, oh, if you kill all the leftover players, you don't get destroyed anyways. It's like, so then that whole thing was just bullshit. It's whoever wins becomes real, and then the other 3 stay alive, or at least plastic. It's like, I don't get it. I don't get it,
Well,
because then you...
I think the implication was more that either you win and become real, or you lose and get scrapped. And I think the reveal of, oh, whoever kills the most leftover players gets spared and they move on to the next game. But I'm not sure if that's what you're misinterpreting there. But
No. The thing is that they said that the last place gets destroyed, the first place gets humaned, and they never mentioned anything about the second and third place.
That's the thing, is like, I could have sworn it was just like either you win or you get destroyed, basically. And then the last second rabbit hunt was just like him throwing a bone, basically. That's what I kind of took it away as.
See, that's what I thought it was going to be, but no, that's why it got me so confused when it happened, because I thought, oh, that's what it's going to be. You know, that there's at least 2 of them who stay alive. But no, I guess he just throws that out at the last second for shits and giggles?
I guess so.
For
Maybe,
no reason?
as far as we know. Like, it doesn't... It's whatever. And...
See, that's the biggest problem. And it's like you said, nothing is ever explained. And even when it is explained, you just get left with more questions. It becomes a thing of just like, okay, well, you explained what 2 plus 2 is, but now where does the 4 go? Or
Yeah.
where did you get the 2? Or... oh shit! Where did the other 2 go? Oh wait, what? How did the 2 even get there?
No, it'd be like...
was it 1 plus 1?
It's like 2 plus blank equals 4, and you're left trying to figure out what the other fucking number is.
And the thing is, like, it might actually be the most obvious answer, or it can be the most dumbest fucking thing you've ever heard.
Exactly, yes.
And that's the problem with this fucking show. It's like, oh, great, I now know 2 plus 2 is 4. Nope, it wasn't 2 plus 2. It was 2 plus fish. Okay. I guess. And then we get to... fuck me. We get to the ending. Which I really hope they weren't going to pull this bullshit. I really hope they weren't going to. They pull the time loop bullshit.
They actually unironically do a time loop ending in the year 2021.
They pull a time loop.
I legitimately started laughing when we see her go to bed, and then we hear like the chime, and it's like, oh no, they're not doing it. They're not doing it. And she fucking wakes up, and there she is in the base with the guns and everything in front of her in her costume. Like, oh, they actually did it. Oh god. Oh man, like you start hearing like the gunshots. I'm like, oh my god. Oh, they actually did it. Oh.
Which on so many fucking levels doesn't make sense. On literally every fucking level. Does not make sense of how it happened.
It's like,
because
it fucking
one, how is it fucking Tachibana who's still in the fucking time loop? 2, how is she the only one who somehow remembered? 3, does Alice also have her memories fucking swiped? Because I thought they weren't supposed to be a part of the same bullshit. And 4, are we even sure it's a time loop, or is it just a fucking different timeline altogether?
Well,
we don't fucking know.
It might be a time loop, because it might be both, because we have a montage of Tachibana going through the school, and everybody who died is back. You know, Natsume's back doing her running thing. I guess nobody just seems to recognize her, because she's like, she talks to Natsume, and she's just like, the fuck you staring at? Like, can I help you? Whatever. Like, none of the other classmates seem to recognize her or acknowledge her. Like, she does, like, apparently Matsuko's not there anymore, because, you know, she died, I guess, but she died for real.
I don't know how.
I mean, again, the shop owner's like, hey, now, if you kill me, both of them don't get to be real. Like, she's a real girl now only because my illusion keeps going on. Like, if you stop the illusion, she's gonna die for real. It's like, okay,
which brings up something else. You just fucking reminded me of something else I gotta mention again. Is that because of all this, how is the shopkeeper doing this?
Magic. Fucking magic, I guess.
Because, like, there is no explanation of how he is doing this, how he is powering any of this. If this is magic, we have no explanation of where it came from. If this is technology, we have no explanation of how he built it or where it came from. And if this is just some fucking pseudoscience inception bullshit, we don't even get told that much. Like, even if they went for it was all just a dream thing, I would have still been fucking pissed. But at least it would have still made some sort of sense.
The issue is that, like, again, it seems to be like it's a multi-nested layer of multiple realities, and I guess he's the only real one in the show, and everybody else is just an elaborate construct. We don't fucking know, because he seems to know more than he's explaining, but he doesn't fucking share with anybody, so fuck you, audience, if you want to understand what's going on.
See, that's the worst part, is that I would be 100% fine if they kept it vague for the characters, but not me. I'm trying to understand what the fuck's going on, too. And the thing is, if you want to keep it vague for both of us, fine. But at least eventually explain it. Eventually tell us what's going on, because if not, it's literally, like we said earlier, 2 plus meh equals 4. Okay, how did the 4 get there? I don't know. Figure it out, asshole. Okay, is it this? Oh, no, never mind. I changed my mind. That's not what the answer is at all. It's something else. Oh, all right, I guess. And what's even worse is, like, at the end of it all, it's just like, we don't even do we just completely reset now? Is it just a complete reset? Except for Tachibana, who apparently still remembers?
I guess so.
What's going on?
But now there's another game going on, because fuck you, haha. But, like, but he fucking, like, the shopkeeper's dead, so who's running the new version of it? Is he not actually dead, and what they killed was, like, a construct or whatever, and
fuck off.
He's still in the real world, and this is still a simulation? Or, was he just some fucking unknowable alien entity who just had a human form? Like, did they pull a Sagara and, like, oh, he actually got away with it the entire time? But, they kind of did, because the time loop is still going on, even though he's supposed to be dead. Maybe he is. We don't know.
But see, that's the thing. Up till just the ending, we didn't know it was a time loop. We just assumed that the game ends, but time is still going normally. So does this mean... Again,
like, we don't know what it's supposed to be looping or anything like that until we get to...
But again, this is what I'm trying to say. Does this mean that the reason Matsuko didn't find her friends was because it reverted back to before they became players? Or is it just the thing of, no, they're still dead, and time is still going on normally, you just got put in their place?
I guess...
There's no explanation of that.
I guess so, because, like, again, we don't know who, if anybody, was in the original version, her version of the game, so all she cares about is her friends. As far as we know, nobody who was in that version of the game survived, and none of them got, carried over to the new reality. Which, going by that logic, eventually you're just going to run out of people going at the rate you're going, but that's kind of...
Which then brings up again, like we were saying, what the time loop thing is, does this mean that... Let's just say, for example, if there's a season 2, does this mean that Tachibana's going to walk into a new Team Alpha who aren't the original Team Alpha? Because what the fuck?
I guess
that's the biggest problem with that's the biggest problem with the ending, is just we don't get it. We don't get it because there's no explanation. There's no, and that's the thing, that this is the ending. That's it. That's over. What the fuck? What do we have to do here? What are we working with here? Nothing. There's no rock to jump off of from here. It's just, oh, it happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. The show's over. Bye. Buy our toys.
Literally, that's what it felt like. Just a slap in the face, and which really pissed me off, because I was like, you started off with a relatively interesting idea, and it just fell off a fucking cliff. Like, hard. And again, that's what pisses me off the most. It's just, unless there's a sequel series, which I don't think there will be, that's it. You don't have any answers. You know what this is like? This is like the ending of Fies, where you just see the ending and you just kind of assume things happened. That's it. But at least with Fies, it got an ending eventually.
I guess so, but like again, like Fi's at least had a conclusion to it for the most part. Like, yeah, we got told what the fuck was going on. We see what happens. Like, it's left on like a vague note. We don't know exactly what's going on, but at least there's a fucking ending. Here, it's just like, okay, I guess everything's back to normal, except now it's not. We don't know. Like, it'd be like if Fi's ending, except we didn't get any fucking explanation about what.
We didn't get that scene at the very end.
Yeah, well, for starters, we didn't get the scene at the very end, but it'd be like if we got the scene at the very end, but we didn't get anything else between then. Like we cut.
Oh yeah.
Like we don't even get the final fucking battle. Like we don't explain. Like we don't know what the fucking Orphanot King is. We don't. Well, I mean, we didn't know what the fucking Orphanot King was. But... okay, look, Fi's is a bad analogy because Fi's.
We get to the sewer and it immediately cuts to it.
Basically, yeah, it's like we get to the sewer and then it's like the Orphanot King just explodes or whatever, and then we immediately cut to them in the field, and that's basically how the ending went. That's pretty much how Gun Girl ended. Is just it feels like they were missing scene. That's this entire show is that it feels like there are missing episodes. It feels like there's missing content.
It does. I mean, I don't know if it was originally supposed to just be 10 episodes, which is a really odd number for shows like this. I don't know if it was really just supposed to be 10 episodes, but it, like you said, it feels like we're missing something. It feels, honestly, like there's 5 episodes missing out of the series. There has to be. Yeah. There's 5 episodes just gone that we will never see it. We won't get explained for. Because I feel like they did eventually explain, what the prize was and stuff in other episodes, but we're just never going to see them. Or maybe the director thought, whatever. You know what? I have a better analogy for you, Jay. It's like Shibuya 15 if we never knew what the fuck happened.
Oh my god, yeah. It'd be like if Shibuya 15...
This is Shibuya 15 without any explanation of who, what's his fucking name? Mark Musashi was, what the school was. It'd be like if... even a scene in the school out of the simulation.
Yeah, it'd be like if we fucking, It was Bondo from Gaim who was the guy in that show, right? The older dude, right?
Yes,
yeah,
it was.
It'd be like if we immediately cut from what's his face walking through like the door at the end, and immediately we cut to him escape, like just in the streets of Shibuya again, but the real Shibuya. We don't get the scene of him explaining what the school was. We don't get the scene of him waking up in the tank or anything like that, or freeing the girl. We don't get any of that. We just get, okay, he walks through the thing, and like I guess now he's in the real world because he's in a different costume, and then now he's on the streets of Shibuya, and I guess maybe the game's going over again, maybe it's not. We don't know. That's basically
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. This is just Shibuya without context.
Yeah.
And it's really disappointing. It's really fucking disappointing. Because I was kind of excited for a new type of tokusatsu. Because shit, didn't we just have a question about this like a few months ago? Why aren't more people doing more companies doing different versions of tokusatsu? It's like, I guess this is fucking why, because they're shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what else we got? It's like, what other, I guess, indie toku or out of Toei toku that we gotta look forward to? We gotta look forward to, like, fucking So Okuno being able to not go upstairs or something.
Yeah, we got Sogo.
Cripple Zio.
I'm surprised they didn't, well, I mean, granted, I'm kind of not surprised the Japanese show didn't bother casting somebody who's actually handicapped in the show, but... either way, not important right now.
Who knew his ride watch was wheelchair?
Oh, but yeah, it's like honestly, you know what? This is the funniest thing about this is that going into this, I didn't see or listen or read a single thing about this. I didn't watch any of AJ's reviews. I didn't see anybody else talking about it. I didn't read any time anybody started a conversation about it in the Discord. I completely glazed my eyes over. I completely skipped, just looked away. Didn't read any kind of forums about it. Didn't read anything on Tumblr or anywhere else. Nowhere. I avoided every single piece of information about this show going into it. And the big reason for it is a combination of one, I kind of want to know as little as possible, just so I can finally like. I want to know what the hype is all about without having somebody like set my expectations. And two, and I won't lie, this is primarily my reason why. I was kind of hoping that I wouldn't have the same opinion as AJ about it. Because, look, I've seen people, make comments about our show. Like, I've seen people say, like, oh, they always have the same opinion as each other, blah, 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 like, trying to start shit. Like, look, I get it. We ended up, when a show is good, we both end up liking a show. We both end up hating a show at the same time. We very rarely disagree with each other about our opinions on a show, outside of very specific situations. But and that's just because we're very similar people. It's not because we're not trying to coordinate anything. We're not like, this isn't like a gimmick. We don't
have a meeting every Friday being like, all right, Jay, tell me what you like.
No, we don't compare notes. We don't share anything other than like us like. Our raw immediate reactions in the server when we're doing like kind of like our commentary watch alongs and like spoilers, and we don't do that at the same time. Like, I'll do mine like a week ahead of the time before AJ even like looks at any of it. Like, and that's kind of what I tried to avoid all of AJ's stuff, is that like I didn't want to know a single thing about I didn't want to know a single shred of his opinion of the show going into it. Solely because I hoped with all my heart that I would have a different opinion than him. And it's, again, like, that's not why I didn't like the show. I genuinely didn't like this show. Like, I didn't find it interesting from the first episode, and by the end I'm like, yeah, this show sucked. And it was like, from what I was seeing about, like, from what little I did end up seeing in the server, like, everybody else seemed to like it. AJ seemed to like it. Guess I was wrong there.
Well, I'll let you keep going and I'll explain myself.
So I'm like, okay, maybe, like, I want to kind of have, like, a nice thing where, like, AJ kind of presents his reasons why he likes the show, and I have my reasons why I didn't like it. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way, but you know what? It ended up being kind of an interesting experience there, is that's kind of what my problem with the show is, that like I thought there was going to be something more to it based on the way I'd been seeing everybody talk about it, but no, it's bad. It's not good at all. No.
So I'll explain myself a bit more about stuff when I said I liked certain stuff in the server, I liked it more because it reminded me of better things. So there's a few scenes, and I know Jay saw them as well, where I put I don't think he saw the edits I made, but I put Amazon's opening over it because it just reminded me really much of Amazon's.
I saw you talking about that, but I didn't actually watch the clip. No.
Yeah, but so basically, I watched the show and I did enjoy some of it, and in a lot of my reviews, I do sound a bit more positive than I really was. Like, a lot of it was more me not wanting to give away what I truly thought of a lot of stuff just yet, because I knew we were going to get into it. I knew we were going to get into this. And I kind of wanted Jay to watch the show from the outset, because I thought, I wasn't thinking the same thing of, I hope we don't have the same opinion. I just wanted to see, does he catch on the same things that I caught on to? Like, the stuff that's not being explained, the girl gun stuff, the game being stupid, that fucking ending. I mean that fucking ending alone.
Well, we pretty much watched that at the same time, so that ended up being pretty coincidental. But,
true, but like,
it's kind of hard not to hate that ending.
True, but like, I just wanted to see if he caught on to the same type of, because like I was saying earlier, like, I knew the show was crap, but I want to see if you thought it was crap in the same way as I did. Because trust me, I have seen people say that, you and I share the opinions a lot of times. It's like, guys, the reason we share the same opinions a lot is because usually the show is either pretty shit or pretty good. There's stuff that will say, like, okay, this is pretty alright in a bad show, this is pretty good in a good or pretty bad in a good show. But usually it's kind of a universal thing, Even when we have Phil on here, he still kind of agrees with us when we say a lot of this shit too. Like, I'm pretty sure he would have had the exact same problems with Kira Major than you and I had, like, bar none. It's just,
yeah,
that's just how it works. It's like, that's what happens when you look at a show objectively. Sorry to say this, but
I don't even want to say like necessarily use that argument. It's more just like, again, we just kind of we're just very similar people overall. So we ended up having a lot of similar thoughts on things, and it just kind of ends up being coincidental like that. But
it does. I think the only time I've ever vehemently disagreed was like Gridman, but I was also like half asleep and I couldn't speak.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's like one of the only times we genuinely had a disagreement about something is because you got like super like autistically frothing rage about wanting
I wasn't that fucking
mad.
Don't get me on that. I wasn't that mad.
Look,
I was more asleep than angry.
I mean, look, you definitely did go a little hardcore. Like I don't want to drag this one up again. You definitely did.
I don't even remember, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I only remember it because I remember like we all had a like we're all kind of like, are we cool? Are we cool about this? Is this like a genuine like is this gonna kill the show kind of thing? Like I only remember it because of that.
I don't remember at all.
Well, look, you have a tendency of not remembering half the things on the show, and I'm the one with brain damage. That says a lot now, doesn't it? No.
Well, see, I don't remember, again, because mainly I was half asleep. Literally half asleep, because
like,
I did not sleep the
that
previous day.
That was the only time, like, I think we ever had a genuine disagreement on something. And I think that was, like, half you being kind of hyperbolic about it, and us trying to explain it. And again, you were, like, half awake and kind of just...
Well, it was also half because there was a certain person who took it a little too much to heart.
There was a certain third person who shall not be named who also got... also very irate that you were being hyperbolic about it, and that didn't help. But besides the point. Besides the point.
But the thing is, like... No, but I was going to say, like, the thing is, besides that, usually we all line up pretty well on each other because it's just the way it happens. And the thing is, a lot of the times, a lot of stuff that we agree on, like, if something's bad, it's universally, universally seen as bad. Like... Let's say, for example, Faiza's ending. Universally, that ending is garbage. And anyone who says otherwise is the outlier. They're the exception, not the rule.
I mean, I don't remember what we said. I kind of like Faiza's ending, mostly because, like, it's not a great ending, but, like, I kind of like the idea he, like, in a way was going for with it. But I think I agree that, like, it's not a good ending. But
no, that's what I'm saying, like, or like with Zio.
Yeah.
That's kind of universally, seen as just a shitty fucking show. But again, there's people out there who don't see it that way, and it's like, well, you're the exception, not the rule. I'm sorry to tell you that. Jay and I might hate it for different reasons, but we still fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing here. Like, Jay had his different reasons than I did. I mean, again, we still have, similar reasons with certain things, but I had other reasons outside of just what Jay wanted to say and vice versa. And this one is just... No, I guess I'll just go into my fucking final thoughts, whatever. Honestly, just going into the show, again, I saw it. When the trailer first came out, I was just like, huh, that's interesting. And then I kind of forgot about it, like I do with most things that are interesting. And then it came out, and then I think Rabbit posted, episode 2? 1 or 2, I don't remember. But I think he posted episode 2. And I was just like, I didn't even know this came out. So I started watching it. I thought, okay. And slowly but surely, I started seeing more problems, more issues, and I thought, And again, anybody who's watched the show for any amount of time knows if something doesn't make sense and it continues to not make sense, I'm not going to let it go, dude. I'm not going to let it go. No. Because if you keep having it there, if you keep dangling it in front of me, I'm going to pull the fucking bait. Because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I can at least, like, there are points where I'm like, this is just a show, I need to relax. I've learned how to kind of take that opinion sometimes. AJ does not. And I understand, and I completely understand his reasoning why, but there are definitely points where it's impossible to be like, okay, I understand this is a TV show, but what the fuck is going on here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, like if it was something like, say... something as arbitrary as, Koharu doesn't know how to build a certain gun. Whatever, okay? You know what? Whatever. We already established he wasn't a great builder to begin with, or that great of a builder to begin with. But if it's something like that fucking ending, or how did they learn that, the Girl Gun Lady prize was supposed to be a thing? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to let that fucking go. especially because it's such an integral part to the fucking show. You know, if it was a minuscule detail, maybe I'll bring it up just to be funny, sure. But it's like when I brought up the whole thing with Sky giving Bridge the Red Ranger in fucking Operation Overdrive. I didn't really feel that strongly about it, but it was just a funny thing to bring up.
Yeah.
Here, it's like it's like the whole thing with the shop owner. No, I'm sorry, that doesn't make fucking sense. And I'm gonna fucking keep talking about it because it doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's an integral part of the fucking show. Like, no matter how you look at it, it's integral to the show. And no matter how you try and fucking explain it, it fucking ruins this goddamn show in some aspects. So, I mean, overall, man, I mean, fuck. I really wish honestly, dude, I really wish I liked this show more. I really did. I wanted to like this show a lot. I wanted to really come in and be like, yo, you gotta go check this out. This is gonna be one of those secret gems of Toku in like 5 years, you know? This is gonna be one of those things where people are gonna look back on and be like, damn, I wish I watched that show. But what's a show that we did recently that I think we could, like Shokeki go Raigan.
Yeah.
Like, you know, nobody talks about that show anymore. But you watch it and you're just like, man, why the fuck aren't people talking about this more? But this is like, no, you can leave it in the fucking dust. Don't forget about it all. Maybe buy the model kits. I mean, they look nice.
I kind of wanted to get one of the kits just because, like, oh, here's this cool gun that I can just like customize. Like, oh, that seems neat. Like, that seemed like a neat thing to do. But like, other than like the kits, like, there's not a whole lot. Like, the costumes are alright. Like, the commander costumes are, like, I'm just gonna say it. They are like cosplay thought tier levels of incompetent.
I mean, no shit.
I mean, like,
they're supposed to be anime waifus, dude.
The fact that none of them had an exposed midriff is just surprising to me. But
I think they did, didn't they?
I don't think.
Yeah, Daisy did.
I didn't even notice.
Well, I did.
Of course you did.
Look, Daisy, dude. Daisy. Okay.
Where was it? Like, the music was like hit or miss. Like, I liked the opening, and like that was pretty much the only like comment I was gonna make on the show. Is I loved the opening, and my response for that was posting the Dwayne gif, which is, I mean, that says enough, honestly.
I'm surprised you liked the opening so much. I thought it was just okay.
I kind of liked the opening. It was really catchy, to be entirely honest. But the rest.
To be fair, I haven't heard the full thing, so.
The rest of the songs weren't very good. The
two of them.
The other two songs, yeah. The pudding song that played every time they did the building montages got a little annoying.
Man, what the fuck was that?
Like, they actually said that at one point, yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I think it was like they first started playing it in the first episode. I'm like, oh, this is kind of annoying. I hope they don't do this again. And then they do it in the second episode. I'm like, oh, they're gonna do this every fucking episode now, aren't they? And then they didn't. They only did it the one other time. The only other time they did it was when they introduced Natsume's sister. And to fuck with your expectations, they have the weird dance montage being done by the shop owner, and it has different lyrics talking about, I'm a model kit builder in my 30s doing this shit. What am I doing?
I posted that screenshot on the server.
And like, I love it because like one of the lyrics in the song is just like, what was up with that song? What was going on? Which was hilarious.
Honestly, I am kind of shocked they didn't give one to Matsuko.
A little bit. I'm a little surprised.
I'm honestly shocked they didn't give one to her just to fuck with you. Especially in episode 9, where they had all that weird fucking Josh Whedon-esque comedy.
Oh yeah, that was
weird, man.
Was weird. What was I gonna say? No, there's
something about the music.
Then there's the song that plays with one of the power-up forms, which
something fuck this fucking world.
Yeah, like, if I could understand what was being said half the time, because there's all these fucking stupid sound effects playing over it, I would probably like a little more. Every single time
it's actually entirely in English.
It's I think most of it's in English, because I think like the chorus sounds like it's half Japanese, half English. But there's a part in the song, and I saw it in the subtitles, where it's like, something this fucking society, and every time I saw
fucking society, bro.
Every time I saw this, I was like, there is no way the song actually says fucking society. And the only time you get to hear it clear enough is in the finale. And no, they are in fact saying this fucking society. And
It's bass, dude.
it's kind of good, but the song kind of sucks, unfortunately.
Honestly, I would love to hear what the actual song is. Outside of the fucking million of sound effects and bullshit going on.
Yeah.
I would love to hear what the actual song is like, just to put it all together.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The music overall. I mean, to be fair, what other music can you even remember? All of it sounded
There's the incident.
It sounded like shit that we use from Dova Syndrome.
Yeah, it's like the generic OST stuff, and it's otherwise not that interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, hey, you know what? At least we got the pudding song.
Yeah.
I'll attest to that. I like the pudding song.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is up to you, Jay. This is your final shits.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I kind of went in expecting like, oh, everybody else is gonna everybody else kind of likes this. Here's what I'm gonna think about it, and then like, as I'm going through it, by episode 3, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of bad. I kind of would literally rather be watching anything else. Like, I'm sitting down to watch it. I'm like, all right, here, I got some food. I'm going to go sit down and watch more of the show. I'm like, oh, shit, new down the rabbit hole. Oh, shit, that's right. I got to watch the rest of this god-awful show, don't I? Like, I kind of had that reaction every time I went to go watch it. I was like, oh, hey, this channel put out a new video. Oh, wait, that's right. I have to finish this show. Like, I was just kind of, disappointed watching it because I'm like, this is what everybody else has been talking about this whole time. Like, this really wasn't worth it. Am I missing something? But no, I guess I was just misunderstanding everybody. No, I guess nobody liked it, and I guess it makes me.
I wouldn't say nobody liked it. I think it was just you and me who kind of shit on it.
I mean, I feel a little vindicated because I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm not the only one here missing something because I guess no, there are other people who don't seem to like it, but that was kind of my whole feeling going through this. It was like, I'm seeing a lot of people talk about it, but I'm like, oh, this is what everybody's been.
You did?
Everybody else in the server. Like I said, I've been trying to avoid it. I see, one or two bits here and there, but I scroll past it pretty much. But like, I see people bringing it up. I'm like, oh, well, everybody seems to be talking about it, but like, this is what they're talking about. Okay. I'm kind of disappointed.
I mean, to be fair, Jay, I mean, a lot of people talk about Saber, but doesn't mean it's good.
I mean, I was just about to say, like, it's not even a situation like Saber or Ghost where it's like where I am seeing content from it and like, oh, this is what people are saying about it. Oh, okay, I don't want to watch this. Which I was gonna say, a situation like this kind of makes me afraid for when I have to watch Saber because now I'm afraid that it is going to be a situation where I do somehow end up liking Saber, and I'm kind of afraid of watching
I can
it.
guarantee you right now, Jay, unless you get actual brain damage and also get half of your brain scooped out, you're not going to like Saber.
Well,
like
I'm already pretty close to that, so I don't know.
But I'm trying to think of what I told you the other day, where it's just like, so let me say it like this, Jay. If this show got you all kind of like, what the fuck? Saber will actually make you want to kill yourself.
Well, I don't need Saber.
I'm not being ironic about that also. I'm not being ironic.
Anyways.
Saber actually is suicide inducing.
Neither was I. But that's my problem is that, like, I was kind of expecting there to be something more of it. And then as I'm watching it, I'm kind of disappointed here. And then I'm like, well, at least this will be an interesting experience here to see how everybody my thoughts compare, but like, no, I guess I just wasn't missing anything the whole time, and there's just nothing really worth it to this show at all, and it's a little disappointing, to be entirely honest, because I was kind of hoping that there was going to be more to it. It seemed like a fun concept, but it wastes the gimmick of having everything be associated with model kits. It wastes the gimmick of the battle royale. Like, if you want to watch a show where people take model kits and like have real fights with them, just go fucking watch Build Fighters again. Like, I think they did a live action Build Fighters thing on YouTube. I don't know, I haven't watched it yet, but apparently it was pretty good. Like, if you want a tokusatsu show about like a fucking virtual battle royale, go fucking watch Garo. Versus Road did this exact premise 10 times better, and it was so fucking good. Like,
we gotta do that one of these days.
Yeah, I kind of hope so, because I really enjoyed Versus Road, but like, again, like, there's nothing really kind of interesting here, and I'm a little disappointed because again, I was kind of hoping there would be more to it. I was kind of hoping that eventually I'd be proven wrong, but no, it's just another kind of overall disappointment.
Well, that's disappointing that you were disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Though it is kind of funny, in a kind of fucked up kind of way, that you thought there was actually more to the show than there was. I partially blame myself for telling you to do it, but I guess I was just misunderstood in my. I wasn't doing it to hope you like it. I was doing it to hope you hated it as much as I did.
Well, I mean, again, that's the thing is that, like, anytime you were talking about the show, other than being, like, telling me to go watch it, I was trying to avoid it because I didn't want your opinion on it when I did eventually go watching it because, like, I wanted to go and
even when I gave my opinion on it, I was super vague, dude. I was just like, oh, yeah, that was very interesting.
Like, again,
that's
another thing, too, is that, like, when I did see you talk about it, you were being kind of vague about it. I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's something more to it here. Like, that's the thing is, like, I kept thinking there was going to be a situation there, but no, you fucking worked me into a shoot here, you jackass.
I did. You got fucking worked, bro.
But no, yeah, it's. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend watching it.
Oh fuck no.
It's.
Even for 10 episodes, it's not worth your time. Which, you know what, and I feel really bad saying it like this because I'll give most of the actors this. They gave it their all. And I think a lot of these actors are actually first-time actors.
I think
only one of them isn't.
I think based on the what I did see, like some of them had been in like one or two other things, but most of them seem like they're like idols or musicians who are just kind of doing it because, well, Bandai has big money thing that they want to advertise a product, and so we're gonna get a bunch of like musicians or whatever to advertise themselves, advertising our product. So it makes sense.
I'll give the girl who played Tachibana this much. Apparently, she is a legit hardcore Gunpla nerd. So hey, cool on her.
I mean, they had the little segments at the end of the episodes of her building the actual kits, which I thought were kind of cute. I wish there was like a
but you see those and you think, oh, they're just doing it for the camera. Like, no, she actually is a legit hardcore Plamo nerd.
Yeah, but still, I thought that was kind of a cute thing, and it's like I love like at the first one, it's like, God, I feel like I'm a fucking YouTuber doing this. Like, I thought that was cute.
Oh.
Like, it felt like it was just like a genuinely unscripted, here's a model kit, have fun kind of thing. But I wish there was a little bit more of that, but no, unfortunately, they're
I hope she gets into a future Sentai / Garo / whatever the fuck.
Or at least something, something better than just
or something that actually pays.
Yeah, I would hope so.
So, get her into the next Rurouni Kenshin movie. Oh, wait, that's it. They're fucking over.
Yeah, they already made all the movies. Yeah, you can't do
that.
Shit! Well, I don't know. Apparently they're still making the comics, so maybe we'll get another one someday soon. I don't fucking know.
Yes, Rurouni Kenshin chapter Get Out of Pedophilia Charges.
Listen, man.
You're right. It's feudal Japan. They didn't have those.
You know how disappointed I was when I heard that news?
I think everybody was.
Kenshin was my shit as a kid, dude. I was genuinely mad when I heard that.
I think everybody was, dude. Honestly, like anybody who's not a fucking sicko, I think was actually pretty sickened by that. Which is depressing. But yeah, like Jay said, and like I said, overall, don't go watch this show. It's not going to be worth your time. And really, the only thing that's worth your time is probably the model kits. I mean, I'd say this right now. I mean, even the Girl Gun commanders are actually pretty nice looking. I mean, if you're into that type of figurized stuff, yeah, I'd say so. Only thing is, fucking be careful because those things are getting really fucking expensive, like stupid expensive.
Oh yeah.
Like literally, I say it like this: literally premium Bandai tier prices for these things, dude. It's fucking insane. Well, with that being said, Jay, we don't spin the wheel this week again because next week we are doing X-Aid. We're doing Kamen Rider X-Aid. Well, the last time we did it was literally the last time we did it. So
the last time we did it was when the show ended. Yeah.
That was 2016.
2016. Jesus Christ.
That's 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah, that's 5 years ago. Fuck, dude, we're old.
Yeah.
So yes, so Xaid, we're doing it. Well, basically, for the first time ever, we're doing a anniversary year. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 5-year anniversary. God, I'm really afraid.
Yeah.
I'm scared it's gonna be shit, Jay. I'm scared it's gonna be shit.
Maybe we'll be lucky.
It's Ghost 2. Oh, what am I saying? That's Saber. Saber is Ghost 2. People just haven't seen it yet. I mean, to be fair, I can actually just plow through Xaid this week because I put up another video. I wasn't even planning to put up another fucking video this week.
I can try to get it done by the end of the week. I'll see. I'm still working on it.
I'm pretty sure I can get it done by like at least Tuesday of next week because I don't have much. Because again, I finished. I pretty much filled my two big video quota for this month because of that fucking Yakuza movie.
Yeah.
I didn't expect for it to be that shit to make me that angry. But yeah, I guess that's everything we've got for you guys today. So world is a fucking society. 4 million model kits every day. Bye.
Bye.